Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I am really working hard to get this live chat or live streaming thing figured out. It's been a very exciting endeavor. For those of you who don't know me, I think most of you do, but I am Tricia Morris and I am the owner of Club Scrap. And it's an honor to be with you here again this morning with another special guest. I don't know if you remember, but maybe it was a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, we had Sheila Meggs Gibbons here for a discussion about how to declutter. And I'm telling you, it was an effective mindset shift for me to think about decluttering not only my space at home, but also my space in my crafting area. So I'm not sure how many of you had a chance to watch that, but it was so good. It was so good to just have those reminders, especially in the springtime. I see a few of you checking in on Facebook, and we are also live simultaneously at YouTube. Isn't this cool? We're live streaming to 2 social media accounts at the same time. I love it so much. And believe it or not, I can see your comments. Oops, did I just send something? Okay. Some of you, I know there's a way around this. All I see is Facebook user. It doesn't tell me who you are, but on YouTube, I can see that Donna Grushke from Northeast Michigan checked in. Kim Blazer. Oh, this is so great. I'm so excited. So today we are going to be talking with special guest Julie Heyer about the blog. And it's funny. We had a conversation recently at one of our staff meetings about how our blog's dead. Like, do you really hear about blogs anymore? Blog hops, I know they're still going on, but maybe not in the way they were 5 years ago. And we have a very robust blogging habit around here. So we are always there adding more information, adding things. And we have members who call Julie because she's our ACE #1 member service representative here. They call her and they don't even know the blog exists. Or if they do, they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to search it. So Julie and I were talking, we're like, we should just do a live. So that's what we're going to do. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on our ACE #1 customer service representative, Julie Heyer. Hi, Julie.
Hi, thanks for having
I can
me.
hear you and see you. Oh, this is so great. I love it. Hey, Julie, how long have you been working at Club Scrap?
This year will be my 11th year.
11 years.
Yep.
So you're part of the Decade Club.
Or did I just have my 11th year? Maybe.
Oh,
no,
you're in your 12th
I'm
year.
in my 11th year. Yes.
In your 11th year.
Yeah.
Amazing.
2013. November of 2013, I started answering my first phone call. Oh, it was so, talk about nerve-wracking. This is nerve-wracking, but that was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and now you literally have all the answers. So that's really cool. I was just going to say that yesterday we celebrated Kristen's birthday. Yep. And I was doing some math calculations. It wasn't that hard, and realized that she has been working here for more than half her life.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
That's what happens when you start out so young. Oh, we have all kinds of people saying hello. Hi from Tennessee, Scrappy Die. Scrappy Die? I think that's how you would say it. Fairhaven, Massachusetts, Amarillo, Texas.
Ooh,
We've got people all over the country here. So that's awesome. Now, Julie did a great job. Of course, she came prepared. She put together a whole agenda for us. So Julie, why don't you go ahead and I'm going to add your screen to our stream, and then you can point out how to find the blog. How about that?
Awesome. All right.
Here we go.
So this is our homepage. If you're ever coming to Club Scrap, most of the time you would be clicking on clubscrap.com in your web browser. And this is our homepage. And right here, next to the left of the logo, next to resources, is blog. So if I click on that, that brings you right to the blog. So Tricia, do you want me to just start right in?
Yeah. The first thing you had was, I think, something that everyone is really always excited about is learning about the new collections and releases and spoilers. Tell us about that.
Yes. So when you get your email, you can actually come to the blog by clicking on the link in the email. Most people, I find, come in that way. And you're actually going to the blog. And when I was talking to somebody the other day, they saw an email and clicked on it. They didn't even realize that's where they were heading, was to the blog. So that's where you would head. And if you notice down here, we have all these blue tags, and we tag each of our articles with words so that they're really easy to find. So you'll notice we have a tag for spoiler. And if you click on that, you'll notice all the spoilers that we've had have come up. So the most recent spoiler we had was last week, March 27th, or actually it's been 2 weeks now. And that's the Coming Up Roses spoiler. So we write this really great article about what's coming in your next pizza box. So if you scroll down, you'll actually see a way to watch the video by clicking right here. So you can watch the spoiler unboxing video. Tricia always does those at around noontime Central, the end of the month. And it's a great way to learn exactly what's coming. Tricia does a great job of sharing every little detail about what's coming in the box.
Every last bean, right, Julie?
Right, every bean gets dropped. So in this, you can actually join us. We talk about the chat group, which is on Facebook. So there's so much information in these blog posts. How to become a member. You'll see in our blog post, there's always blue words that are highlighted. Those will actually take you right to the page. Tricia, do you want me to click on any of these, or is it better just to stick with the blog posts themselves?
No, I think you can
stick in the blog post, right?
Yeah, it's good you pointed out that those blue areas are links. We spent a lot of time digging those up for you. So just remember that they're there. And if you want to take a direct route to something, go ahead and click.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing in this spoiler is right here at the bottom. I think it's here. Yep, we actually take you right to products as well. So if you're just interested, and you don't have to be a member. This is another question I get, and I'll just touch on it really quick. You do not have to be a member of Club Scrap to shop in our site, on our store. If you just wanted to purchase one of the kits, you can, and that's here. And you'll notice the pricing here is $35.95. This is because my screen is on. If you're a member, you will see member pricing. If you are not a member, you will see non-member pricing. So I am not considered technically a member. So that's why I'm showing the $35.95 price point there. But you can go right to add to cart, or you can click on the item itself, and you can go right to it. So you can purchase it. Now, if you are a member, you are going to get that kit automatically. If you're a member of the page kit, you'll get it automatically. The card kit automatically. You do not have to buy it. So I like to tell people that, because I've had that, and I've had that issue several times.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
let's
definitely.
go back.
Sometimes I'm helping out on the first of the month. We see some of those things that come through, like someone said they purchase it one way and another way. So then often we try to give them a call and see if that was intentional or not, and then we try to get things fixed up for them. But yeah, that can happen. So just remember, if you're a non-member, you can shop anytime. But if you're a member, that's going to be that will process on the first of each month.
Yes, perfect. Yes. And a lot of times people wonder, well, why do you have the blog? And one thing I like to tell people is tons of inspiration, a whole bunch of information, and just, you can learn so much on our blog, I feel. And if you're a fan of Club Scrap, it's just such a great place to learn all different kinds of things. So the other big thing about the blog is folks always are curious about how we make pages and the bonus formula. I don't know if you find this, Tricia, but the bonus formula always seems to get so much attention when you mention it in the spoilers. So we actually have a tab or a tag for the bonus formula as well. And I'm just going to go to one quick article really quick. See this article right here? at the end of each year, Karen does an article to make sure folks remember to download their bonus formula. This is if you're a member and you receive the kit that month, you get a member exclusive email, and you can actually click on this. All these little buttons in your email are clickable, but the bonus page formula, I think, is like such a great resource. And we talk about it a lot, in especially you and your lives. So the bonus formula is it's customizable. So Tricia usually makes a sample, right, Tricia?
I do. I sometimes
Sam
don't get pictures on it, unlike
That's
Karen.
okay. That's okay. But
But yeah, I
Karen
usually
and
make a
I
sample and
both,
show it in the spoiler. Yeah.
yep, and Karen and I both create blog articles and blog about the bonus formulas that we create each month. So you'll see right off the bat, mine hasn't been published yet this month for Coming Up Roses, but Karen has her April bonus formula, and she tells you exactly what she did for her layout. She'll tell you which papers. There's the formula. The formula isn't published because it's just for members, but it's here if you want to see what the sketch looks like. And then she'll show you what it looks like bare, and then with photos and how she embellished it, and her cute little grandson. He's so adorable. But if we scroll back up, oh, and she also tells you about where to find the bonus formula. Okay. So that's really important. And as an active member, it's somebody who paid and received that current month's kit. So back up to blog, I'll just go back to the main header, go back to bonus formula. So with my articles, I usually show a little bit, I kind of approach it a little bit differently. I try to show you what it looks like when I lay all my photos on the layout. And I never have any cut aparts. I only have like some things from my samples when I make my stamped card samples. So I have the stamps, the 12 by 12 paper, the ribbons, and some embellishments. So what I try to do each month is create a print using the stamps. So I tell you exactly how I do that every month, and I kind of go step by step how it all comes together, how I make my prints, and then the assembly process. And I go into a little bit more, I tend to be more of a tutorial based blogger. So I do a lot of step outs, like what everything looks like, trimming. I try to give little tips and tricks of, and again, you can click on all the links. If you see something that interests you, you can click on it and buy it. And then let me just scroll down. If I'm going too fast, Tricia, please let me know.
No, it's good.
Okay,
Let's
good.
show them that awesome finish line there at the bottom of the blog. I think you tend to link directly to the shopping cart on your stuff as well, right?
Yes, exactly. So this is the other thing I like to show people, because so many people I talk to get kind of stuck on all the little photo mats and especially the littler photo mats, Tricia, that you create, like some of the little squares and stuff. I try to
Yeah.
show people how I take my 4x6 pictures and kind of try to match them up with where they're going to go on the layout. So I
Yeah.
always give this picture of, here's all my, I deal them out, kind of, you always talk about the deal. And then I show how I cropped them all. So like in this sample, there's that little teeny tiny square. And I had this picture with Caitlin and her daughter Callie in it, but Callie was like so cute, just sitting in the grass. I didn't really need all that grass in that photo. So I cropped all of it out and just showcased Callie there in the picture. So,
And then you
I did,
stamped in that other smaller spot, and I think, and
yeah,
often Karen will just leave a photo larger and, like, kind of layer it over the top, and I think too,
yep,
if you've ever tried to
make it
this is
your
kind of
own.
off topic, but if you ever tried to scrapbook a page and use only 4 by 6 photos, it kind of looks weird, like a little bit off balance. So having
Yes,
these smaller, series of photos, like how Julie has those crap there is so nice because it
Yeah.
gives that page a lot more balance. So like
Right.
I always say your main characters of your show get those 4x6 slots. Your supporting
Right.
your supporting information gets the smaller ones, and then your
Right.
anecdotes get the even smaller ones. That's a great,
Right.
and I love how you stepped that all out, Julie. That's awesome.
Thanks. And I really try to do that each month. So if you're stuck as a scrapbooker, for example, if you're stuck on that, use the blog to help you. That's the great thing about the blog. I think it just teaches so much. So here's where I added like the different colors of things that I use, the paper and the stamps. So you can just add those right to your card if you're interested, and away you go.
Someone from
So,
Facebook posted, I don't know who it
yep.
is because I don't have the names, but she said, "I love going through the blog when I've lost my craft mojo," which is exactly what you
Oh,
just
yes.
described. So that's awesome. So people
Yes,
are definitely using it. Oh, also
definitely.
one
And I
other thing I wanted to
right. Yep.
mention, Julie, before you
Yep.
move on to the
Yep.
next category is, that if you have a Facebook account, you can leave a comment. Feel free to
Yes,
say
and
hi, you know?
we love to get comments, and a lot of
Yeah.
times we'll actually get, I get a notification on Facebook when somebody's commented.
That's really always a nice thing that someone,
It
someone's
is.
listening. Like,
It
even on, my YouTube videos as well, I'm starting to ask for comments because, like, is anybody out there? Like, I see
I
their reviews, but no one
know.
says anything.
I
So,
know.
feel free
And
to
I
leave a
have to
comment.
And I do have to shout out, I have had so many people that I talk to on the phone, they'll oftentimes stop me and say, "Julie, I just wanna tell you, I read your blog post," or "I love your blog." When they tell me that, that just makes my day, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
and I know Karen feels the same way about her. When people say, "I got so much from it," and maybe they aren't commenting about it, but boy, when you get those comments, it truly makes my day.
that is
So,
awesome, Julie.
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it. I
yeah.
love it.
All right, so the next biggest thing I talk to people about, it's so funny how many people don't know that we give you a hint as to what's coming next month. And we give you a tentative date for when the next spoiler is going to be. So you can add it to your calendar and get ready, for next month. I think it's so funny because as members, or I remember when I was a member, it's like you can't wait for the next kit to come out.
We can't
So,
either.
yep. So what's ahead is where you want to go for that. So it's right here on the main. So click blog if you're on coming to the blog, and then click what's ahead. So you may think, well, I don't want to know what coming up roses is, but it's the editorial post for the current month tells you what's ahead for next month. So here's Tricia's coming up roses blog post. And this is the one that you can click on in your member exclusive email. So when you click blog on that 9 up little icon email, you will come to this editorial blog post. So right underneath, I always tell people, look for the color palette. Right underneath the color palette, there's what's ahead. So here it is for next month. Summer's coming early with the Beachcomber collection. We're so excited, or I am. I can't wait for this one. And here it is, the tentative date scheduled April 28th. Now, I have a huge calendar so I can look at it in my office, and it's one of those dry erase ones. And every month I find this article, find out what the date is, and put a huge red live on that date on my calendar.
It's a big
So
one on mine too.
yeah, so it's
And
it's
the
tentative, but, it's
yeah.
a good idea of when it's coming.
I don't think we've ever not made our target date, but we always say
Yeah,
tentative just to avoid extreme disappointment if for some
just in
reason
case,
something happens.
of
Yeah, like could
course.
be something in my schedule or something weird that occurs. But normally that's my gotta have it all done date. Every instruction
Exactly.
and video's got to be done. So
So true, so true. And this article, this editorial blog post is not just helpful for what's ahead, but it also has ink colors that go with the collection, and you can watch the spoiler again. There's that little spoiler post, or you can read about it in the spoiler. But again, we even have started clicking here to get the page instructions. So you don't even have to find it anywhere else. It's right here in this blog post. So again, goes through the cards and then a little sample and then my stamped card samples. So lots of really good, helpful information in our blogs and lots of links down at the bottom if you want to just go shopping. So let's head back up. Sorry, going to scroll quick here. All right, so let's see what's next on my list. So the other really important thing is these tags that are at the top of the screen, these will take you right to where your interests lie. So if you're a scrapbooker, scrapbooking. If you want to know everything about cards, anything that we've talked about, are here. Stamps, if all you do is buy stamps every month from us, then you can go to the articles that reference the stamps. So I'll put that reference on my bonus page formula article and of course on my stamped cards. And I go through every detail of how I create the cards. So if you're interested in the stamping tutorial, I definitely recommend you reading that one because that gives you step-by-step how I make it. If I do anything special, like use a technique or something, I try not to. Tricia's encouraged me to really just make it super simple, which is why the cards tend to be, focus on the stamp and really embrace just a lot of the beautiful white space and quick and easy cards.
And you've done an amazing job with that, Julie. I absolutely
I
love getting that batch of cards. In fact, Julie just sent the images of all of her completed cards for next month to me yesterday. So I already have a sneak peek of what's coming and you're going to love it.
And we're so far ahead of the game that my cards are in the mail and on their way to you guys. So
that's like a miracle.
Yeah, that's amazing on the 9th of April, which is awesome. Let's see. So I'm going back to so this is probably the last thing I want to talk to you about, unless there's something else, Tricia, that you think needs to be said as far as the tags. I know I'm going to talk about the search feature in a second, but another thing we have is called membership tip. And if you're a member and you call and say, I forget how, or I get a lot of chats, this is our chat feature right down here. You can chat with me, not right now, but you can chat with me typically.
And the best part is it's actually a human. You're looking at the human right now.
With me.
It'll be you.
You're actually chatting with me. And people are so funny because they don't realize that I'm, on the phone and and everything. It's funny. But anyway, so Karen has written 4 amazing articles about membership. So, and Tricia and I actually talked the other day, and we want to do another one of these lives with updating your membership and stuff. But there are all sorts of tips, like if you don't know how to skip, this is how you do it, and step by step log into your account, where to find that manage subscription button. So these are all things that are available on our blog. Think of the blog as this awesome magazine. Like if you miss magazines, I know I used to get Better Homes and Gardens and, all these magazines, physical magazines, but this is like a magazine right at your fingertips on our website. So with tons of awesome articles.
Exactly.
All right. So the last thing I just want to, And the last thing I want to point out is our search features. And this is different. So I want to just point something out. There is something here, search store. If you are on a mobile device, let me just tell this really quick. If you're on a mobile device like a phone, when you're holding your phone and you're looking at our website, you're not going to see all these things. You're going to see 3 lines. So I always tell folks, click the 3 lines, and then they will see all of these in a drop. They'll see everything. They'll see everything. And the bottom is search store. The search on our blog is completely different. So This is our search. It has changed a little bit. This was an update I think our blog host made recently. But for example, if you were looking for U-Hinge albums, as soon as I start typing all the U-Hinge articles, anything with U-Hinge, you can see it's even highlighted in the text. So lots of U-Hinge articles.
That's awesome.
Right?
Julie,
So
I'm learning. I'm learning right
oh,
now.
good. So if you just click on that, here's the U-Hinge album that Karen made with the Woodland collection. So another thing I want to say about the blog, as far as inspiration goes, one thing we do really well is show you how we do a lot of projects, the U-Hinge album being one of them. And Karen and I both, and you too, Tricia, have made samples using other collections. So this is a perfect example of the U-Hinge album might have originally been made with the Peony kit way back when, but Karen made it with the Woodland page kit, which was a special edition collection. And she goes through all the pictures of all the different flip-flops and all the cute artwork and things and how she embellished it. But she also gives her, like at the bottom, I thought maybe she would say, I thought there was a section where she says, if you want to make this.
Where you
the
substitute what for what? Like
yeah.
paper A is this, paper B.
Usually she does that, but this is an older article. So
actually, that was a full kit because we did that as a workshop. I remember in Michigan.
Oh,
so
maybe that was the workshop itself.
Yeah. So I had a video specifically for that.
Here's an example. I know for a fact she did it with this one. So she made the 5x7 handmade book, similar, but here's where she'll always tell you, here's how I substituted from the original, which was Flourish, and what I used with Reef. And then she'll give you her. So I try to follow the same whenever I do something similar. I try to do the same thing. That's give awesome. You paper substitutes. And I think that's about it. Unless you can think of anything else, Tricia, that really needs to be.
Hey, if you've got a question, does anybody out there have a question? You can type it in the comments. And with this stream that I'm using, that I'm learning how to use, I have something called a unified chat. So if you're posting a question on the YouTube channel, or if you're posting a question on the Facebook page, I can see it. It's so cool. So this is your chance. I know we have about a minute, probably a 60-second delay, maybe even less from what I'm seeing on the live Facebook screen versus our main page.
Right.
But yeah, I think you did a beautiful job.
We'll give it a second, let people.
Yeah. If you have a question, type it on in. But Julie, thank you so much for laying this all out. I do think the blog is an awesome resource. And as I've said, many countless hours go into maintaining this. If you ever gone to like a company's blog page and then they haven't made an entry since 2019, or like my personal blog, for example.
Yeah, I was just going to say my personal blog page. I think I just put one in the other day because I was like, I haven't done it in so long. I need to.
Yeah. Donna Pierce on Facebook is saying that she's not familiar with the U-Hinge album. And Julie, would you mind just taking a little field trip to show her where are all of our projects that can be found in our, like where you download the instructions and a workshop video? Because I mean, that's a cool resource.
Yeah, let me do U-Hinge. Do you want it right from it, like show?
Can you show her where she would go in the shopping cart to find?
Yes, absolutely.
That resource, because that's really awesome. And then while you do that, Julie, someone had a question about the birthday swap. So I'll let you queue up where to find that stuff in the cart. But yes, we have a birthday swap every month that's primarily hosted by Karen on our Club Scrap Chat private Facebook group, and it's private in that you can't just willy-nilly join. We have to approve your membership. Once you're
Yep.
in there, you can go to events and join the birthday swap, which is super fun, by the way. Okay, so Julie, back to our cart. We're now in the cart. And what did you search? Uhinge?
Yep, Uhinge.
Okay.
Now, be careful when you're our search feature is kind of persnickety. But look
It
at
is a
that.
little weird.
I didn't even have to put in the dash. Let me see if it works this way. Yeah, it did come up, so that's good. But here's where, and this is another good thing to point out. I get this error happening a lot with folks. So did you see, I'm going to go back to the search real quick. Sorry, I don't want to take too much time with this, but do you see here, you can actually add this to your cart? Instead of doing that, I want you to always go directly to the product. And I did that by clicking on that little thumbnail. The reason why I think this is so important is because some people add that to their cart thinking they're going to make this physical book with these papers, and they're not. This download means it's only a download, and this right here, this description tells you it's a digital product sent via email. It is not a physical book class. So that's an error that a lot of people make, and I just feel it's important to just say that, to click on that thumbnail. And the gift certificate that I posted about on our chat group the other day is another mistake a lot of people make. I had somebody who wanted to buy a $100 gift card for someone, and they thought they had to buy 10.
Oh.
They do not. So you need to click on the item in order to get the selection. So I kind of showed that in the post that I made on
Good tip.
the Facebook chat group. But so I always recommend reading the description of the product first before you hit add to cart.
And we really try to be cognizant of adding that little triangular teal box or triangle in the upper right corner or left corner of the image, because it just really reminds you that that is a download. And what that basically means is the download will allow you to download the instructions for the project. And then within the instructions, there will be a link to the video. That's all you're getting, not any of the supplies or materials required to make that particular project. You're paying for a class, basically.
Right. Exactly.
And that's a really good value.
For $11 for a full video workshop and printable instructions, which you can use over and over again, I think is very reasonable. And that's not even member pricing. So.
Right. That's true. I have to quick say, Morgan Hansen said she tries very hard to find answers in the blog before she contacts us. And 90% of the time she finds the answer in the blog.
I know, it's true. Oh, can I point out one other thing, Tricia, about that?
Yeah, please.
Up here is your web browser, your where you type in a web address.
Oh, and we can't see it on our screen, by the way, because you're just in the tab.
Okay, I apologize. So at the top of your screen, a lot of times some people have theirs at the bottom, but where you type in a web address or a Google search, for example, you can actually find, a lot of times people will ask, oh, I can't find this, where are the instructions? And sometimes with our really old ones, we actually had the instructions on our blog.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So back in the day, that's what we did. So I will Google it, and 9 times out of 10, I will find it.
Just straight up Google search. Yeah, because it's crawling all around, looking everywhere for those answers. Yeah. So that's great.
Yeah.
And Pam Butler also wanted to add that you can check out the projects tag to see the things you can make with a page kit, because sometimes, and I actually find myself craving turning my page kits into projects now more than ever. It's just kind of nice. Like I have one from, I can't remember the kit. It was a nautical themed one, and I'll pull it off the shelf and put it on my coffee table for a month, and then I'll just swap it out for another one. And I find that they get
that's
enjoyed
fun.
A lot. Just keep rotating through.
Was that your regatta photo twist?
Regatta. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have a thing about kits.
Arambula. How do you say Cynthia's last name? She said she has found some cool projects on the blog. So I think that's a kind of a theme that's showing up here. That's really awesome. I'm glad you're finding those.
Yeah, the pizza box creations, that's another one people talk to me about a lot.
Yep. Yep.
I
Those are
try to
cool.
turn my pizza box into a project if I can. So there are tons. I have made so many pizza box creations.
Yes, you have. Hey, it's been a
I
hot minute,
mean,
Julie. You should get on that again.
yeah, I know. And while I did just do that little, the little one, what was it?
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
little house.
Yeah, the little house, that was adorable too. Yeah, so
Thanks.
it just is really endless, and when you think about we've been around for 26 years this June,
I know, that's incredible.
it's sometimes, when you get way, way far back, but a lot of that stuff is still around and searchable, which is really cool, and we've been through so
Yes,
many different iterations of our website and our blog, and the technology is always changing and growing, and, but this is just such a great resource for probably the last decade of Club Scrap. The pizza
oh,
box furniture is
definitely.
my favorite. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love this. This is so, so great. Um, I think the questions have stopped rolling in and we've just had our
Okay,
answers. So,
awesome.
and we're going on 36 minutes. It's
Which is
perfect.
sort of perfect, yeah.
Yeah. Now, one thing to know is that Facebook has a new policy that live videos are taken down after 30 days. But the cool part is about this dual streaming option is that this is going to be streamed to our YouTube channel and it will be under the live tab. And you should always be able to find it there. And as needed, we'll be linking to it. And recently, I've been really busy filming like almost every day lately, but I also just filmed 2 brand new videos. One of them is called How Does It Work? And it just answers questions about the specific membership and how to work with it. What are the things you can subscribe to, and how
Amazing.
does it function? And then the other one is all about my favorite tools. And I'm getting ready to drive to Novi, Michigan in May, and I'm going to bring one little tote bag of tools, and I'm going to bring some kits if I have some time to do some cropping. And when I'm at these expos, I see people hauling in wagons and wagons of stuff. 95% of it they'll
Never touch.
never take out of the bag. Julie did a great post about a live video about how she prepares for crops. And so we're just here to offer you a lot of resources that hopefully help you be more efficient, more effective in your scrapbooking. And this blog is a huge part of that. So,
Yeah, for
oh,
sure.
and if you're watching the replay, like someone just joined in, said they're watching the replay, that's awesome. Just let us know in the comments if you're watching the replay. We love to see that. Oh, and we have a classroom assistant at the Novi Mega Meet. That's awesome. Let's
Oh my
see, we have
gosh, how fun.
Corleen Brand. She's happy we have this live. She's never used the blog and she can't wait to start using it.
Oh,
Get
yay,
it in.
Corleen. Yay.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I've
that
talked
is
to
so
Corleen
awesome.
several times, which is awesome. We've chatted several times, so
I love it.
yep,
Well,
that's
Julie,
awesome.
thank you so much for
You're welcome.
taking this time out of your day, out of your customer service. You probably have a bunch of voicemails to get back to now.
I don't have a 1, if you can
Oh, well,
believe it.
that's good. And no
That's
missing
a good
chats or
thing.
anything.
Wednesday
Everyone's
is a
been
nice
giving.
quiet day, so this was a perfect day to do this.
Well, I think let's make a habit of it, Julie. I think
I
we
think
should do
it's
this
great.
regularly.
Yeah,
Answer more
definitely.
questions. Someone just asked, how do we access the blog? So go back to the beginning of this
Yep.
fabulous live.
Yep.
Actually, if you just go to clubscrap.com, there is a menu across the top. Find the word blog and hit that, and you'll be there. And the whole tour awaits if you'd watch the replay.
Yeah, it's so fantastic.
It is great. Well, thanks again for offering all of your knowledge, Julie. Nobody knows more than you. You are the brain basically
I
because
try
you
to
field all of the questions and the things that we're so accustomed to knowing around here. We forget that those
yeah.
things need to be explained because otherwise
Yeah.
newcomers they'll miss out on so much because they don't know all the cool
Oh my
stuff.
gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For
All
sure.
right. Well, have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank
Thanks.
you so much for joining us, and we are going to
Bye,
sign off.
everybody.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.